Welcome back to another tutorial. Today we are going to look at how we can create a title block when drafting in Siemens NX. Now I am creating this video as a reference because whenever you are doing any drafting exercise, you are supposed to create a title block on the drafting sheet. So in my subsequent videos where I explain or where I give tutorials about drafting, I will not be explaining how to create the title block. So I'll just refer you back to this video. So you're supposed to watch this video and understand how to create a title block so that in the subsequent drafting exercises, you find it easier to navigate your way through. So this is a sketch canvas or the modeling area where you can model a part. So in order to go to the drafting interface or the drafting window, come to applications and locate the drafting tool. Or better still, use the shortcut Ctrl+Shift+D, or come into the find the command search bar and search for the drafting. So click on it. And now when you click on the drafting tool, the first thing you are supposed to do is to select a drafting sheet to use. So we use the A2 sheet and click OK. Now we enter the drafting interface and this is our drafting sheet. Now on the drafting sheet, we can see that Siemens NX provides us with a default or a standard title block we can use. So let's zoom in and position the title block well so we can see it. So this is the standard and default title block that Siemens NX provides us with. So you can just fill in the information here by coming to the populate title block menu and then fill in the information. So first issue, let's say today, fill in and click enter. You can see that it fills in the title block with the information automatically. And when you are done with everything, click on close. Now, most of the time, you will not be needing this type of title block. So you need to delete it and create your own title block. So that is what this video is going to teach you. So in order to delete this title block, you come to the view menu and then come to layer settings. Now you come to the visible only column and uncheck this mark or uncheck this box. And then under the work, you come and check this 256 box here. Click on it and click close. Now move your cursor or your pointer onto the title block. Click on it and then delete. So now we can see that there is no title block on the drafting sheet. So we can add our own title block. Now to add a custom title block, come to the home menu and click on tabular notes. And this will create the title block. Now make sure all this information is checked. And then you can customize the title block based on the number of columns you want or the number of rows and even the column width. So let's say you want a table with 5 columns and 5 rows and a width of 80 millimeters. Now customize it, and when you move your cursor here, you can see this title block. Now, for the sake of my tutorials, I'm going to be using a title block of 3 columns and 2 rows because I need just some minimal information and I'm ready to go. And then the column width should be 120 millimeters. Now come to settings and click on this, and also specify the height of the text to be 7 and click on close. So this is the title block I want. So come to this endpoint here or this vertex here and click on it. Click on start point line and click close. So this is the title block. Now we have to fill in with the information needed. Now before you fill in, you have to tell Siemens NX that this is the title block of our sheet. So what you have to do is to come to drafting tools and define the title block. So click on the define title block and come and click on this title block. You get an alert that the selected table has cell fit method that may cause the cell to grow to accommodate input. So this is just a warning telling you that if the information inside this title block won't go inside this cell, the cell will expand to accommodate anything you put inside it. So it will go into the next column. And that won't be a problem. So click on OK. Now, after defining the title block, all we need to do is to populate it or fill in the information. So click on populate title block, and then now we can fill in the information. So for the first cell here, you can add a company name, but in my case, I'll use my channel's name. So Alutes CADCAM Hub, and press enter. And you can see that the information is filled here automatically. So the second cell should have a title of the file, which will be NX drafting. Press enter. The third should be the scale of our projections. And most of the time, we want to use 2:1 scale. Now, this cell should contain the date we are making the drafts. So the date should be, as you can see, it is 20th September 2025. So the date should be 20th September 2025. And this cell should contain the drawn by. So the name of the person making the draft file, it is me, so I put in my name. And then the last cell should contain the type of projection that we'll be using for our drafts views. So in my subsequent videos, I'll be using the third angle projection. So fill in with the third angle. And as we can see, since the information inside the cell exceeded the total width of the cell, you can see that the height of the cell has been increased to accommodate this text here. So we are done, so click close. And you can see there is a mistake here. So if there is a mistake inside the title block and you want to go back and edit the information inside it, again, come to populate title block, click on where the mistake is and change it. And click close. Now, after creating the title block, all we need to do is to add our views and dimension it, and we'll be done with the draft file. So yeah, that's how to create a title block. I'll see you in the next videos where we actually solve problems or we actually draft some parts we model. See you in the next tutorial.